South Korean President Moon Jae-in is on the left and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un on the right after a signing ceremony at their summit in Pyongyang. The offers suggest that South Korean President Moon Jae-in has struck, if not gold, then certainly silver in his aim of getting the stalled denuclearization process, on which North Korea and the United States are deeply divided, back on track. So there's a lot of positive momentum that's come out of this meeting. But, I've written about this several, and I just want to touch on a few points. Firstly, the important point, the question remains, Kim Jong Un can hardly forget what happened to Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi, both of whom met their ends after being defanged. So my question remains, what security guarantees can Trump provide to Kim that convince him to denuclearize? Offering up bulletproof security guarantees is the equivalent of threading the needle. Alternatively, you just do in Israel and you don't talk about it. But this, I think, still remains a key issue. I take you back to 30th of April when Kim wrote, "A new history starts now, an age of peace from the starting point of history." And I was referencing the events that took place on the Friday at the truce village of Paekhwawon, and saying they were breathtaking from the perspective of Hollywood optics. The opening shot of Kim Jong Un surrounded by a phalanx of North Korean officials, later replayed as Chairman Kim sat in his presidential vehicle surrounded by his ninja bodyguards, was almost as good as the opening sequence in P.T. Anderson's Boogie Nights. This was cinema of the highest level, which is no surprise when you consider that Kim Jong-il, the father, was obsessed with cinema and amassed arguably the world's largest personal film collection, over 20,000 bootlegged 35mm screening copies. Kim Jong-il also had a penchant for Hennessy parody cognac, and for 2 years in the mid-1990s he was the world's largest buyer of Hennessy parody cognac, importing up to $800,000 of the stuff a year. And then I was talking about Kim Jong-il began his career as the head of the state propaganda and agitation department, and it's clear that Kim Jong-un's sister, Kim Yo-jong, holds the same role and evidently handles all the optics as a chip off the old block. And I said Friday was tip-top geopolitical optics. Then have a look at the footage when the signing ceremony. You can see that she's kind of got President Moon River's attention. 12th of February, I was talking about how North Korea remains the buffer state between China and more than 30,000 US soldiers parked on their doorstep in South Korea. I was quoting Lao Tzu, "Water is fluid, soft and yielding, but water will wear away rock which is rigid and cannot yield. And as a rule, whatever is fluid, soft and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is another paradox. What is soft is strong." And I was saying South Korea is set to be peeled off, and going by his puppy dog smiles, President Moon River will be in Pyongyang before he can pronounce Kim Yo-jong correctly. And here he is. And then September 2017, when Rocket Man was firing off all his rockets, I wrote a piece called "Screaming Comes Across the Sky." Gravity's Rainbows, a 1973 novel by Thomas Pynchon about the design, production and dispatch of V-2 rockets by the German military. In particular, it features the quest undertaken by several characters to uncover the secret of a mysterious device named the Schwarzgerät, the black device, slated to be installed in a rocket with the serial number 00000. So as the world watches Pyongyang, I cannot help wondering if Kim Jong Un has read Pynchon, which speaks of a screaming comes across the sky. It is a curve each of them feels unmistakably. It is the parabola they must have guessed once or twice, guessed and refused to believe that everything, always, collectively, had been moving toward that purified shape latent in the sky, that shape of no surprise, no second chance, no return. And then in 2010, I'd written about far away in distant lands lies the hermit kingdom. They've all had tiny little hands like the elves and the shoemaker,